Suji appeared, mocking Xinghu, asking if he didn't know his own limits, mentioning that in the last 5 years, only 8 students from Qingfeng City had dared to apply to the Qinglong Academy. With an evil smile, he revealed that none had managed to pass. He took out a sheet of paper and swore that if Xinghu managed to pass the exam and enter the academy, he would kneel down and call him dad. In response, Xinghu asked him to clear his throat and get ready to call him dad. Upon seeing his attitude, Suji got angry. Xinghu turned around and asked the teacher if he could start the tests. He asked the shop owner if this husky had 4 hidden evolution paths, but the owner began to chase him away with a broom, saying that Gale Hounds didn't have any evolution path. Xinghu realized that the man couldn't see the system panel, only he could see it. Suji, his classmate, the son of the richest man in town, appeared and with a smile mocked him by saying that he remembered Xinghu wasn't planning to take the national exam because he didn't have a beast. He approached the husky and asked if he had managed to get a beast. Xinghu turned his back on him and told him to mind his own business. Suji mentioned that Lina was right about Xinghu not planning to take the Beast Tamer exam at all. What they didn't know is that this Gale Hound had 4 hidden evolution paths, which would change Xinghu's future. 3 days later, all the students gathered in Zilan Square as the National Advanced Beast Taming exam was about to begin. After some time, it was the turn of the candidates from Qingfeng City to enter the venue. Xinghu, who was known for not having a beast, filled himself with confidence and decided to be the first to take the exam. Everyone knew that he didn't have money to buy a beast and had only registered for the exam 3 days ago by enrolling in Qinglong Academy, which is considered one of the top 4 main academy. While Xinghu was looking at the card, he remembered that in this world everyone dreamed of becoming beast tamers, and of course this was also a desire he had. But unfortunately, he couldn't afford to buy a beast, and without a beast, he couldn't take the National Beast Tamer exam. If he couldn't become a beast tamer, he wouldn't be able to protect anyone. While he was distracted, something started climbing up his clothes. It was a small and adorable white dog that began licking his face. He picked up the dog and realized that this dog was a husky who had followed the dragon here. At that time, humanity faced destruction, but luckily, humanity's potential was fully unleashed. In the wave of spiritual awakening, some exceptional individuals showed the ability to control demonic beasts, and were called beast tamers. In the present, a dragon was ravaging the city, but a beast tamer mounted on a lion appeared and attacked the dragon with an energy burst, causing the beast to crash into the residential area, prompting authorities to send emergency medical assistance. The beast crashed into the apartment of our protagonist named Xiao Xingyu, a student at Xiaonan High School. Xingyu approached it and began sweating due to nervousness. Xingyu informed the professor that he was here to take the exam. Chen Kenyan, the admissions professor of Qinglong Academy, took off his hat asking if he was Xiao Xingyu, to which he replied that he was. Chen Kenyan's gaze fixed on our boy since he was the only Qingfeng student applying to their academy. Suji appeared, mocking Xinghu, asking if he didn't know his own limits, mentioning that in the last 5 years, only 8 students from Qingfeng City had dared to apply to the Qinglong Academy. Xingyu began rubbing his eyes, and once he opened them, he saw Su Ryuan, the headmaster of Qinglong Academy, who dismounted from her beast and apologized for the inconvenience. Then she handed him the academy's card saying they would take care of repairing the damage caused to his house and offer compensation. After handing over the card, she said goodbye to him, and she and her team flew away. While Xingyu was looking at the card, he remembered that in this world everyone dreamed of becoming beast tamers, and of course this was also a desire he had. Xingyu got angry, started pointing at her with his finger and asked her not to forget that he had been the one who helped her when she was down, giving her permission to spend her life with a rich jerk, but reminding her that he had been the one who broke up with her. Suji got angry, but Lina asked him not to lower himself to the level of a loser with a worthless Gale Hound, thinking that she should have left him long ago. Xingyu left, sticking out his tongue at them. What they didn't know is that this Gale Hound had 4 hidden evolution paths, which would change Xingyu's future. 3 days later, all the students gathered in Zilan Square as the National Advanced Beast Taming exam was about to begin. The ball started to show 621 points, but then it reached 711, then 800, and then 956, leaving everyone stunned, while on the other side, Suji was furious and thought that the meter must be broken. Finally, the ball started to show 1028 points, leaving the professor and the others speechless. No one knew what kind of madness this was. The spiritual power determined how many beasts a beast tamer could contract. Every 100 points equaled 1 beast, and a score of 1028 meant that Xingyu had the potential to become a 10-star beast tamer. Xingyu felt relieved. But the sister, astonished and confused, grabbed him by the shoulders and asked how he had done this. Xingyu grabbed his sister's hand and with a smile revealed that he was now a beast tamer and had entered the Qinglong Academy. While they were talking, Black Fang pounced on our boy and started licking his hand, and he explained to his sister that this was his contracted beast. Black Fang was very happy and Xingyu introduced it as the Hellstorm Wolf, called Black Fang. The people who were previously running for their lives from the monster turned around, asking if the monster was really dead. Just before the professor could prepare the next test, the technician appeared and started whispering in his ear, explaining that there had been a small error with the spiritual power meter, revealing that Xingyu's actual score was 1032 points, being 2 points higher than Yin Shuang's. The professor did not lose his composure and decided to keep the malfunction of the machine a secret, asking the man not to make it public. The man started touching his cap and affirmed positively. A while later, they went to do the second test, which consisted of checking the bloodline quality of the beast. Xingyu panicked and arrived at the farmer's market where he saw many people running for their lives. He didn't know what was happening here. In front of him there was only destruction, beasts destroying everything in their path, and humans fleeing. Not a single trace of his sister. The scorpion launched a powerful attack using its stinger, but luckily, it struck near where the girl and the woman were. This woman was Xingyu's sister. Upon hearing the sound of the attack, he started running to save his sister. Xingyu's eye started to bleed and then a system window appeared in front of him again, informing that Black Fang's Hell Howl skill was available, asking if he wanted to use it now. A crystal began to emerge from the corpse, and they decided to go see it. The crystal fell to the ground and a status window appeared. It was an initial stage monster core with the poison attribute, and it could increase the poison attribute by 5 points and could grant 10 XP points. Xingyu took the core and gave it to Black Fang to eat since even if it was a poison attribute core in its initial stage, even the smallest gain could help Black Fang evolve. He turned around and announced that the monster was dead, so everyone could be at ease. The people gathered around our boy praising him as a true hero for having saved them. At the same time in Qingfang City's outskirts, more precisely at the farmer's market, a horde of monsters invaded the area, destroying and creating chaos everywhere, causing everyone to start fleeing for their lives. Among the crowd, someone began asking if anyone had seen their child. Someone hugged a little girl who was crying. It was a woman with white hair who was hiding behind some rubble. She began to comfort the girl, asking her not to be afraid. She thought she was safe, but no, since a stinger full of venom appeared behind them. The woman noticed this and thought that this was not good. A proud smile appeared on the face of RMC, making Suji and Lena start to feel jealous. Last year, Yinning Shuang, the genius girl, had obtained a score of 1030 points. No one expected our boy to be so strong, being only 2 points below her. Suji asked Xingyu not to celebrate victory so early since the exam had 2 parts. Lena started pointing at him with her finger firmly believing that he was not going to pass the beast bloodline quality test. Just before the professor could prepare the next test, the technician appeared and started whispering in his ear, explaining that there had been a small error with the spiritual power meter, revealing that Xingyu's actual score was 1032 points, being 2 points higher than Yin Shuang. Suji lost his composure, started pointing at our boy with his finger and asked him not to be so arrogant, that he wasn't going to call him dad, asking what he was going to do about it. Xingyu started staring at him intently and called Black Fang. Suji realized that something bad was going to happen, and when he turned around it was already too late. With a murderous gaze, Black Fang placed its paw on Suji's back, making him kneel on the ground. Xingyu approached, asking if he could talk now. Suji clenched his teeth and with no other option, called Xingyu dad. Lena decided to take advantage of this situation. She appeared in front of our boy, and with a kind smile explained that during these last 2.5 years, she had developed deep feelings for him, asking if there was a possibility that they could be together again. Obviously, Xingyu was not going to fall into the trap again. With a cold attitude, he turned his back on her and refused since he wasn't going back to the past. Lena fell to her knees on the ground and began to beg, admitting that she was wrong. After a few hours, Xingyu arrived in the city and took out his mobile phone to tell his sister the good news of having entered Qinglong Academy. The ears of Husky started to grow and its eyes began to shine, making a red cross appear on its forehead. The once small Galehound now transformed into a powerful beast, leaving everyone somewhat confused since the Galehounds did not have an evolution path. The status window of Husky appeared above its head. Now it was called Hellwing Wolf. It was in the initial form of the first stage, and had the Hell's Epic bloodline. The professor approached Husky and using the device started to scan it, wondering if this beast was a second stage evolution. A smile appeared on the professor's face, and his gaze fixed on Xingyu, realizing that our boy was something special. Even the girl he had saved before appeared and said that she also wanted to become a beast tamer like him. Xingyu began to stroke the girl's head, saying that he believed she was going to become an amazing beast tamer. Once it got dark, Xingyu returned to his apartment where the hole in the wall was still there, and he fell asleep. At that moment, the sister appeared. She started staring at him intently and remained silent, her gaze fixed on the blue dragon mark that our boy had on his back. She left the room and made a call informing that the curse of the dragon rune was still in place, and the seal over the essence of the Dragon King remained in. It was normal for this guy to be surprised since Xingyu had a spiritual power that almost rivaled Ning Shuang's. Xingyu didn't even pay attention, and Professor Chen Kenyan gave them the order to sit down since the class was about to begin. Everyone obeyed and sat down, and the guy from before swore to follow Xingyu from now on. The teacher started writing on the board and asked for silence. Then he turned around and announced that he was their homeroom teacher. Hoping that everyone would gain something valuable from their time at the academy, he asked everyone to open the Beast Companion Guide as it was time to start with the theory. The giant monkey leaped and prepared to attack our boy, but a golden fox appeared and using its tail, struck the monster in the face. Someone asked our MC if he was just going to stand there watching, leaving him speechless. The three-tailed fox belonged to the Beastmaster named Qin Yanran, daughter of the president of the Sky Guild. She put her hand in front of him and told him to step back if he didn't want to die. She started to spin the spear, pointed it at the giant monkey and gave the order to the fox to use the thunder flash. Electricity appeared around its body, and it started running towards the monkey. Qin Yanran approached him asking if he was also a Beastmaster. She took the fox in her arms and with a smile thanked our MC for having saved her earlier. He responded that there was no need to give thanks since any Beastmaster would have done the same in that situation. He paid a little attention and realized that something bad was happening to her beast. The status window of the beast appeared. It was depressed and lethargic, a result of post-battle trauma. The system even showed our boy the treatment. Xingyu asked her if lately her beast was getting too excited in battle but then became lethargic afterward. The conductor revealed that a group of beasts known as three-eyed giant monkeys had been sighted further ahead, asking them to protect themselves and their belongings. Xingyu became enraged as he knew this was not good, and all the other passengers began to feel afraid since they were being attacked despite having passed through the dangerous section. The beasts climbed onto the roof of the train and began to hit it forcefully, slowly breaking it and increasing the panic. No one knew what to do now, nor did they know how they were going to face such powerful beasts. A giant monkey broke the roof of the train and entered inside, causing panic. Even though he was still sleepy, Xingyu opened his eyes as best as he could, and as punishment the teacher asked him what the weakness of the sky demon lizard was. The tension in the atmosphere grew, but Xingyu stood up and with a confident smile responded that the weakness of the beast was the poison sac under its abdomen. The answer was correct and everyone was in shock. The teacher decided to ask another question, asking where condor crocodiles normally lived. To everyone's surprise, Xingyu answered again, explaining that these beasts lived in the Frostfall Lake region of the Southern Dragon Kingdom, as well as in the cold pools under the Kumlun Glacier waterfalls. With a serious look, she made it clear that in the academy everyone was going to follow her rules, especially rule number 8. None of the new students knew about rule number 8. The principal Sue extended her hand to one side and explained that if conflicts arose between students, no matter who was right or wrong, the dispute had to be resolved through a duel in the ring and the loser had to apologize to the winner. Xingyu got serious because although Rule 8 seemed to be strict, it was the best, since in this way influential families could not intimidate others or abuse their power, giving ordinary students the freedom to seek justice with their fists. Xingyu asked her if lately her beast was getting too excited in battle but then became lethargic afterward, even showing signs of self-harm. Qin Yanran was somewhat surprised as this was true, asking how he knew this. Xingyu started touching his cheek and explained that her beast was suffering from post-battle trauma. He had read about this condition in the Beast Tamer's Guide to Ailments, where it mentioned that thunder foxes were very susceptible. Deep down, he couldn't tell her exactly that he could see the status of her beast. In return, as a form of gratitude, she gave him a pat on the back. The father gave our boy a basket of salted duck eggs since he had always loved them since childhood, and the mother gave them some envelopes with some money. A while later, the train arrived, and with a smile Xingyu began to say goodbye to everyone, promising that he would visit them when he was on break. The sister began to show a kind smile. A while later, both got on the train and Xingyu asked her to take a seat. The train set off and several hours later, the conductor asked the passengers to take note. There were reports of beasts along the railway ahead, so there could be some shaking in the train. The second factor was the quality of the beast's bloodline. The documented bloodlines being classified from low to high quality, and the higher quality bloodlines naturally exerted a suppressive effect on the inferior ones. Additionally, the attributes of beast companions could create an attribute suppression effect. For example, the 5 common elemental attributes, metal, wood, water, fire and earth, follow a cycle of mutual suppression. Wood suppresses earth, earth suppresses water, water suppresses fire, fire suppresses metal and metal suppresses wood.